Okay, so first we're going to start out by mixing your yellow primary hue. This is a really basic one, pretty easy, which is great to start out with. Really, you are going to mix equal parts of both of your yellow hue, or both of your yellow paint colors. So you're going to mix 1 part cadmium yellow light plus 1 part of your cadmium yellow medium. And you're really simply going to mix those together. And then you're going to go ahead. You can test it out on one of your swatches. And then you can go ahead then mix up a larger amount of it and put it into one of your containers. You should have like a 1 ounce container, which is really small, right? It's little, some of them might even be smaller than that, a 1/2 ounce. That should be fine. So, you're talking about a 1/2 ounce of paint that you're going to be wanting to mix up because you'll be using it for other things. So don't mix up just a tiny bit. Just test out the basic mixture, make sure it's okay, and then move on to mixing up a larger amount, put it in a container that will either be your 1 ounce containers or you can do a little plastic wrap pouch. Okay, so let me show you that really fast. For me, what I am going to, if I can get this open, I am just going to be mixing up small amounts of this because you can see I have very little cadmium yellow light left. And so I'm just going to show you the basic mixture. So equal parts, and do your best, right? So if you have a blob that size, then you want to set out the same amount of your other color. Okay, keep the tops on. Make sure you keep the top. Don't put the wrong top on the wrong paint, right? Or okay, make sure you put the right top on the right paint. Okay, equal size blobs. All right, so that's what 1 part and 1 part means. It's like 1 cup and 1 cup, or 1 teaspoon and 1 teaspoon. And then we're going to be mixing. Make sure you're starting out with a really clean palette knife. My palette knife is dry. It's got a little bit of a streaking here, but I think that will not come off on this. A really nice clean palette knife. You're going to just scrape all this up together as much as you can and then mash, right? I'm mashing with the whole back side of my palette knife. Mash, 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 mash and scrape, mash and scrape. That's the technique that allows you to mix this up fast and not waste time. That's it, okay? As long as you're mixing those equal parts, you're going to end up with a nice sort of sunny yellow that's in between. It's not as warm as the medium, it's not as cold, or it's not as greenish as the light. This is the best way to do this. I still want you to do this because it will allow me to check your colors. So after you've mixed up that small amount, you're going to then just take your palette knife and make a nice, even, flat coat of your color, okay? This is not the flattest, I have to say. You want it to be opaque, so you don't want to be able to see through it. It needs to be nice and solid and opaque. Probably the more I keep messing with it. Here, let's just start a new one, honestly. You don't want to press down super hard or you will get, your coating will be transparent then. There we go. That's good. I don't want to over mess that. Okay, so that's what you want to end up with. All right, you're going to set this out to the side. Honestly, here you should have another piece of paper around so you can just set that off and let this dry separately. Okay, and that's it for yellow. I'll come back to do red in our next video.